Denver. Now on to the Detroit Lions. With their first pick, they took Penei Sewell, who offensive tackle from Oregon, who surprisingly fell from potentially being at one point the third overall pick taken all the way to 7, which isn't too far of a fall, but still
Mhm.
crazy because we thought Cincy was going to do it. Second round pick, they went defensive tackle Levi
Yeah,
from Washington. Yes.
yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Then they followed up with another defensive tackle in the third round from NC State, Alim McNeil. Their last third round pick from Syracuse, the cornerback, Afute Melifonwu, which I think that was actually a really good pick. Um,
Hmm.
Also, wide receiver Amon Ra St. Brown from USC
Hmm.
in the fourth. Actually, like that pick as well. His brother actually plays for the Green Bay Packers. Then they went inside linebacker Derek Barnes from Purdue. Not mad at that pick either. And then Jamar Jefferson in the seventh round from Oregon State. Overall, Detroit Lions B.
All right. First of all, sorry about the loud noise in the back. That car was loud as hell. I don't know if you heard that.
I
I
thought
had to
y'all
put it
street
on
racing.
mute for a second. Uh, I agree. I am going to give them a B. Um, Considering this draft, I know they have a lot of holes on their roster. Receiver, I think they only have two receivers on the roster. So, hey, I mean that fourth round pick, it's a start. It's nice.
Now they got
Maybe they might,
three.
yeah, maybe they might get some more free agent, undrafted free agents. But hey, you got to build from the trenches. I like the fact that they went offensive tackle. Obviously, a steal for them because nobody projected that. All right, Panay Sewell, probably if not the best, one of the top rated offensive tackles. Defensive tackle Levi from Washington, another solid pick. Addressing that interior, and then obviously third round pick. Love it. So eh, solid B. Spence.
I'm gonna give it a B because of a generational thing. I think with the Super Bowl pick, yeah, it wasn't something they'll probably were looking at, but with this, even after golf is gone, they'll have somebody, especially centers and everything. They last longer a little bit. So I believe that he can able to be there when the Lions say, "All right, now let's go to rebuild mode once again. Let's get our quarterback. We already got the line. I believe they're gonna get a line during the time periods, but once they get that, they're like, all right, cool. Now we can just get our quarterback. Our line's perfectly fine. We just gotta get weapons, and we'll be good. So this was a good start for them. Once again, the trenches were a good pick because I don't know how long Trey Flowers is going to be there, how Hand is going to do. Um, so yeah, I think these were good. I think this was a good start for the holes filling for the Lions.
Definitely,
All
like you
right.
said, will have to be a start because they'll probably be back in the top 10 this year. Sorry to say that, Detroit fans. I'll just be honest with y'all.
I think they're already used to it by now.
All right. So on to that, we go to the Green Bay Packers, who I
Mm,
can tell you right now, they did not take a receiver in the first round.
Nope.
Sorry. All right. So they went Eric Stokes, Georgia, cornerback. Um, I knew I wasn't too sure if he would be a first round pick. I knew when I seen his 40 time, his stock was gonna rise and some team was gonna take him in the first. Um, but overall, he's a decent player. Like he's not horrible. I don't know if he was first round talent wise, but then again, when you're picking like at in those 27 to 30 second, it's like a second at that point, anyways, kind of. So whatever. Then they go back and get a center in the second round from Ohio State, Josh Myers. Then they make sure that there will be A. Rodgers playing for the Green Bay Packers for the next 5 years plus, I'd say. They get Amari Rogers from Clemson, wide receiver. 4th round, they go offensive guard Royce Newman. Follow that up with defensive tackle to Daryl Slayton from Florida. Follow that up with a cornerback, Shamar John Charles from Appalachia State. Offensive tackle, Cole Van Lannon from Wisconsin in the 6th. Inside linebacker, Isaiah McDuffie from Boston College in the 6th. And then Kylan Hill from Mississippi State, running back in the 7th. For a team that for the last 2 years has been in the NFC Championship and fallen short, I guess you could say they really don't need much, because they really don't. But it's just like, for me, once again, another draft that's kind of falling on deaf ears for their fans, because why not take one of the first round rated receivers or weapons to really help Aaron Rodgers out? I'm not sure how much of a difference Amari Rodgers is going to make to that offense right off rip, but hey, maybe he'll come in. Receivers and running backs are kind of probably the easiest transitions, I'd say, to the league for as far as position wise. So maybe he could come in, especially in that offense with Rodgers and shine. But I still think it's just a missed opportunity. And every year they find a way to tell Aaron Rodgers, screw you. So I think now he's going to turn around and say it to y'all. B minus. And can't give him like a horrible grade, but you missed the mark again. You don't want to win a Super Bowl at this point. It's like 2 years in a row. Just get the man he just needs a little bit more to take him over the top, and y'all just don't want to do it. So whatever. I don't know.
Well, Trey, you know that meme with Spider-Man where you have the Spider-Man pointing at the other Spider-Man? Hey, yeah. That's the same grade I got. B minus. Oh man. All right. So Packers, we get it. You hate Aaron Rodgers. Cool. Honestly, I felt like if you wanted to go ahead and get Eric Stokes, I honestly, in my heart, believe if you wanted to do that, trade back, get some more picks. I felt like it was a little bit of a reach. I get the 40 time, not the best cornerback prospect, in my opinion, but hey, I get what happened in the NFC Championship. Maybe still a little close to the heart for y'all. All right, so cornerback, I get it. Damn, I guess that supercard's back. So with that being said, they addressed, the center, which they lost Corey Lindsey to the Chargers. But yeah, B minus is for me. Spence?
This is gonna get a C. This is average to me. This is nothing really pops out. I mean, don't get me wrong, the players was good, but like I said, for the impact of the Packers, of how it's gonna get, it's just average to me. I mean, sure, hopefully, I guess the other Rodgers can help, and hopefully Stokes can able to help in situations. But right now, it just looks average to me. Y'all about to put faith in a quarterback you have not seen play in the NFL yet. So, good luck.
Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Rodgers, Amari Rodgers, Bucks by 14. Anyways, Houston Texans. This is probably my lowest grade. I just don't understand it. So they had limited picks coming in. They didn't pick to the 3rd round. They had pick 3 overall in the 3rd. And they took Davis Mills from Stanford, quarterback. Okay. Follow that up in the 3rd round. They go wide receiver, Nico Collins from Michigan. Then in the 5th round, I'm sorry that your career is going to be wasted. They took from the University of Miami tight end Brevin Jordan. I feel bad for you. Sorry, Brevin. so sorry for you. And
Sheesh.
then they went inside linebacker Garrett Wallow from TCU. Then defensive tackle Roy Lopez from Arizona in the 6th round. I honestly, this is my lowest grade. I probably gave them a D. Just being honest. I know they had limited picks, but your first pick, you come out the gate and you take a quarterback who, I mean, I'm not gonna say he sucks. I'm not gonna say that at all. I don't want to say that, but I'm just saying there's some other prospects that went later that are probably right now set up to end up doing a lot, better. But nonetheless, yeah, I feel like there was other needs they could have probably addressed with that first pick in the third overall in the third. I'm pretty sure that quarterback still would have been there. I don't know who was looking and wait for him to fall down their draft boards to make a jump for him. So I think that's a pick. You had another third too that was 26. You could have got him even there. I just feel like, I don't know, for me where they took him for what they have, I just don't think that was the right answer. Because you want to say that Tyrod Taylor's the starter now, and is this guy really going to be the future? I'm pretty sure in the next draft you're going to probably end up taking another quarterback. So I feel like it was a waste of a pick. And then if you just go from there, yeah.
Well, I guess I'm not as harsh based on your grade. So I got them with a C minus.
Close enough.
I do agree with you. If I was the Houston Texans, I probably would have went on a different route. But to me, I felt like they got pressured into doing that pick. All right, because obviously Buccaneers selected Kyle Trask late in the second, and then Davis Mills went off, and Kellen Mond. I think it was in that order, if I remember correctly. So those were I guess, the top quarterback prospects at that time, and they probably just didn't want to risk it. So I feel like it might have been a bit of a reach, but hey, sometimes you got to go by what you see, the draft board. But if it was me personally, the Houston Texans, they only had 5 picks. I probably would have traded back on one of them, if not the top one, then definitely on the second one. I felt like they definitely needed to address the defense. I hated the pick in the 5th round, getting Brevin Jordan from the U. Hated that pick. Wasted his talent going to the Houston Texans. I'm sorry, Houston Texans fans, if we have any of those on our podcast, but I don't know. Spence?
I'm gonna give it a C minus. Like I said, like you guys said, almost a D. I mean, this one, you don't have a lot of picks, so you don't have a lot of picks. So the picks that you have to make them work. You have to make them work the best way you can. And once I see there again the quarterback out the gate, I'm like, okay, yeah, they're not thinking. So it's a C minus for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we can move off the Texans. I will say though, as I'm going on to the next team, Kellen Mond did go a pick before.
Okay, so yeah,
pressure. But if that's the case, trade that second, third, and move up and take Mond, who Mond would have potential to be a future starter for y'all versus this guy. So I mean, that's just me, but whatever. The Indianapolis Colts, they took Kwity Paye, defensive end from Michigan, which most people's mocks pretty much had that one going there. So that's not really much of a shocker where they were picking. They got pretty much who everybody thought. They said we're going to build this defense even more. They already got a top 10 defense. They said no, we're gonna continue to build on that. They come back in the second round and take another defensive end, Dayo from Vanderbilt. Follow that up with Kylan Granson from SMU, the tight end, in the 4th. They went safety Sean Davis from Florida in the 5th. They took a quarterback, Sam Ellinger from Texas in the 6th. Wide receiver, Mike Scratchen from Charleston. And then offensive tackle, Will Fries from Penn State, both in the 7th. Another team that really didn't really have too many holes. They're young on both sides of the ball. Top 10 offensive line, top 10 defense. Only question right now is, what are you going to do, Mr. Wentz? That's really it. Give him a B-.
Again, Trey. B-. I agree. They went back to back with the defensive ends. Definitely felt like that was something that they definitely needed to address on their defensive front. Outside of that, hey, Carson Wentz. It's all up to you. Receiver, DB, maybe that could have potentially been something that, or at least in terms of the names that I probably would have preferred for them to call, didn't call. But hey, yeah, B-. Spence.
I'm gonna go. You know what? Spider-Man meme. I'm gonna go B-.
Okay.
I feel like they were just they were once again just making sure the defense is all set up. I mean, like Trey said, they're a top 10 defense. So the picks, they're just, let's just solidify it. Just make sure. I mean, most of it is probably for depth because, Leonard has been here and there and out and everything. So they're just trying to make sure, hey, one goes out, another one goes in.
Right. All right. From there, we are off to Jacksonville, who's another team who I thought had overall a really good draft. Still don't know how close they are to competing in that division with the Texans and the Colts. Or not Texans, I'm sorry. Texans are
Titans.
I meant
Titans.
Titans and the Colts is what I meant to say. Yeah.
He's about to have some blowback.
Yeah. So Trevor Lawrence, number 1. Who knew? Who would have guessed that pick?
It's a surprise.
Now this pick kind of surprised people. Their second first-round pick, they took Travis Etienne from Clemson, the running back. Then they went Tyson Campbell from Georgia, the cornerback, in the second. Followed that up with offensive tackle Walker Little. Then they came and went safety Andre Cisco from Syracuse. They went defensive tackle from USC, Jay Tufle. Then they went defensive end Jordan Smith from UAB. Tight end Luke Farrell, Ohio State, in the 5th. And then with their last pick, they went Jalen Camp, wide receiver from Georgia Tech. I give the Jags A-. I think for Urban Meyer's first, inaugural draft. Trevor Lawrence, obviously, home run. Travis Etienne, people argue that, hey, they didn't need a running back. The kid James Robinson came in and balled last year. But you got to think about how these running backs work nowadays. There's not too many every down bell cows that you're just going to run into the ground and get the ball to every down. You got to have multiple. So I like that. Travis is probably going to become the premier back, but James Robinson is a hell of a spell back to have, to say the least. So I like that. Like I said, this is probably one of my favorite drafts just because of some of the talent they got. They got talent throughout their draft. Tyson Campbell and Walker Little in the second, like both of those, like Andre Cisco. Then a little bit later on, I like the tight end Luke Farrell they got. Overall, I think they did an amazing job of what they had. Again, how it's all going to translate? Are they going to be able to make some noise right away? Not so sure, but It's a great start. If we just real quick, if we look at the foundation, like we said with the Browns, right? We probably say it was like a 4 year. It took them 3 drafts to make the playoffs. If we want to just count from Baker, from when they drafted their quarterback, missed the playoffs the next 2 years, still picked like pretty early, and then now they're in the playoffs, and now they're in a position where people are saying they're, I guess, a real threat or a contender. So if this is their basis point, is this is their first draft? If they have 2 more drafts like this, who knows?
All right. So I actually gave them a solid A.
Okay.
Again, just going towards what you were saying, Trevor Lawrence, obviously we know he's arguably the best quarterback in the draft class. Um, Travis Etienne, obviously the reports that Urban Meyer really wanted Kadarius Toney, didn't get him. But I feel like, hey, Travis Etienne will be somewhat, I guess, in a way to say, I guess Urban Meyer is more so looking for his Percy Harvin in this offense. And Travis Etienne, he is a really good pass catcher. So, you can have him on the jet sweeps and things in that sorts and use him somewhat in ways that, Percy Harvin was used. So I think it's, I know it was a luxury pick. It definitely was one of the many wrenches that were thrown that screwed up some teams' drafts, Dolphins. But yeah, Tyson Campbell in the second round. Not my favorite corner, but I get it. He's a solid cornerback, but we'll see how he develops. Walker Little, also in the second round, I opt out. I definitely felt like they needed a offensive tackle, and played at Stanford. Solid player when he was playing safety out of you know well, I forgot what college he went to, but Andre Cisco, he had an torn ACL last season, so he wasn't able to play, but he arguably would have been one of, if not the top safety in the draft class. Jay Tufele, I can continue going down the list, but my favorite thing most of all was that undrafted free agent. They signed Dylan Moses from Alabama. So hey, that just rounds up. That's why I gave him a solid A on this draft class.
Spence.
Um, I'm gonna give him an A. 2 words, gentlemen. Dynamic duo. I'm trying to tell you, they're trying to keep pieces together that went to school together to try to see if they can work in the NFL. Because, of course, a quarterback and a running back stay together, they'll probably work out. Now, like Trey said, a lot of people's probably scratching their head with the ATN pick because James Robinson had a really great year. But the way I look at it is like, hey, let's share the load. Maybe not put so much on him. Maybe share it. Have other defenses try to stop 2 running backs. One's gonna eat, and it's gonna work out. So I'm gonna give it A. Dynamic duo.
Okay. Not mad at that. All right. So next up on the clock, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. With the pick that they acquired from the Baltimore Ravens, they went ahead and selected Nick Bolton, inside linebacker from Missouri. Thanks a lot, Baltimore. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
They followed that up with another pick. Just go ahead and bolster up that offensive line even more. Creed Humphrey from Oklahoma, center. Then they go in the 4th, defensive end Joshua Kendo from Florida State. Come back in the 5th again. Duke from Duke, Noah Gray, tight end. Then they come back and take wide receiver Cornell Powell from Clemson. and round things out in the 6th with Trey Smith, offensive guard from Tennessee. So for a team that, like most that are picking as late as they do, don't need much. I like what they were able to do with the little bit of picks they had. They when we talk about the Chiefs, right? It's mainly their offense, right? But then when you take into account their defense, what sticks out to y'all? The D line, probably, right? The defensive end.
Yeah.
And then maybe after that, you say, I guess, the secondary with Tyrann Mathieu back there and some of them boys in the secondary, some of the corners. I can't really name you any of their linebackers off the top of my head, to be honest with you. The fact that they went and were able to get Nick Bolton, I like that pick for them. That's gonna be a game changer for their defense. To have somebody like that in the middle. And you know who we can blame for that? Y'all did that. Because he would not have been there for them with their original pick. But nonetheless, I'll say they had a solid B. Again, they didn't need much. They addressed they got some more depth on their line. Trey Smith, they got him in the 6th. Pretty good value, I'd say. And then Creed Humphrey, obviously they got him with their second pick, their original pick at 31 in the 2nd. Along with the free agency pickups and acquisitions they had on the offensive line, got 2 young pieces to go ahead and rotate in there as well. I like what they did with their draft, with the limited picks they had.
So as you said, you gave them a B+, but I'm gonna give them an A-. Reason being, they got one of the best centers in the draft. Hadn't allowed a sack in 2 years out of Oklahoma. And Nick Bolton, obviously that's a great pick. They definitely needed somebody. Run defense is typically something that I would normally say about the Kansas City Chiefs that is a little sus, but reason being I gave them more of an A than anything is the fact that obviously they traded a first round pick to get Orlando Brown Jr. from the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh yeah, I'm not even factoring that in.
Which
yeah,
2-time Pro Bowler. So yeah, I mean you automatically
Pro Bowler on both sides too.
Yeah, both sides. So you automatically got a Pro Bowl level player that we know we've seen. So A- for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they got a steal. I don't know how the hell, but I know how. Medical issues with Trey Smith out of Tennessee, falling to them in the 6th round. I can't believe, out of all teams, Kansas City, he can be a right tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, because obviously Orlando Brown is a left tackle, not a right tackle, so he's not moving over. The only thing that I would have gave him an A+, if they got another cornerback that I personally liked, then I would have gave him an A+ on that. But you can't be mad at, again, limited amount of picks, but A-.
Pretty much hit on all of their picks though. The limited, I like just about all of them.
Yep. So yeah, just getting that a defensive back, cornerback to say. That would have definitely solidified it, just because they lost a cornerback. I forgot who it was. It wasn't Snead. It was the other one. So, I mean, I don't know the cornerback depth that well, so I can't say if they'll be just fine, but yeah, that's the only thing I can say.
Spence?
I'm gonna go with B+. I just want to say, Vick, this is your fault. You are a Ravens fan, so somebody's got to take this blame, Vick. Somebody got to take it. Hey, you're the Ravens fan, so it's your fault. It's your fault. I know. And now I don't think y'all can beat them now. When y'all match up now, this is gonna be hard. That's gonna suck to lose to the people that you traded with. That sucks. But no. But other than that, I mean, the line is, I guess, with the Kansas City Chiefs' main thing, other than the linebacker, was protect your quarterback. They get the memo. So guess what? They did everything in their power to protect Mahomes. They got a guy out of retirement.
Yeah, how they pulled that off, I don't know.
They pulled Anthony Long out of retirement to protect him. So I'll be surprised. I'll be really surprised if Mahomes gets sacked more than maybe 30. Maybe I may be over exaggerating, but
yeah, I don't think he's gonna get sacked 30 times.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know what's the highest like in a season, but whatever it is, I don't even think he's gonna get a quarter of that with all this line protection they put. So for me, is a B plus, high on a low A minus. This one was a very good draft, especially with that linebacker. I think it was great. Still your fault, Vick.
The rich get richer in some ways, as they say.
Still your fault, Vick.
I hate it.